Good morning. Get ready with me while I tell you about my 32-hour travel day. If you don't know, I have been away from home for almost a month. I was at my parents' for about 2.5 weeks, and then I spent a week in Florida filming a movie that I booked, and I left my dog at my parents' house while I was doing that. This is going to be such a messy story, but I'm going to try to tell it as cohesively as possible. So basically, at 4:30 a.m. Thursday morning, Florida time, which is 1:30 a.m. LA time, because we were also dealing with time zones. But at 4:30 a.m. Florida time, I left the house that I was staying in to go to the airport. I flew from Florida to Atlanta, then Atlanta back to my parents' airport, and I was going to have a 4-hour layover there. So they came to the airport with my dog, they picked me up, we had lunch, we went back to the airport about an hour and a half before my flight, and I had to check in at the American Airlines help ticket desk thing, because when you fly with a pet, you cannot check into your flight before you are in the airport. When I get to the airport, there are a few other people in line in front of me, and very quickly the line behind me has like 15 people in it, and this line is just not moving. I wind up standing in this line for 45 minutes. By the time I finally get up to the desk and it's my turn to be helped, they start checking in my dog, I pay the pet fee, which is $150 for American Airlines, which is ridiculous. After I pay for my dog, she goes to print my boarding pass, and she says, "Oh, you've actually missed the cutoff. I can't check you in for this flight anymore." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Well, I can't check you in if it's less than 45 minutes before your flight leaves." And I was like, I guess it doesn't matter that I was here an hour and a half before my flight leaves, and I spent 45 minutes in this line. And obviously, that didn't matter. So I asked what my options were, because I had to get back to LA Thursday, because Friday morning, I started an acting intensive, which is very exciting. They only accept 16 people each year, so it's a very big deal that I got into it, and I didn't want to miss any of it. Anyway, all of the options that the airline employee is giving me has me getting back to LA Friday afternoon, which does not work for me. So I call my parents, I tell them to turn around. I was like, I think you're gonna have to come get me. From their car, my brother gets me rebooked on a flight that goes out of the same airport at 3:20. So we have about 47 minutes before that flight leaves. So I go get back in line, have to wait again. This line is again not moving, because everyone in this line is having the same problem as me. They've all missed their flights because they've been in this line so long. By the time I get back up to the desk, she again checks in my dog first. I again pay the $150. Then she goes to get my boarding pass, and again she's like, "You've missed the cutoff. I can't print your boarding pass." I'm like, "Fam, just figure it out." Anyway, so once again, she's like, "There's nothing I can do for you." And so then I call my mom again, and she's like, "Go to the United counter. There's a flight online, but I can't find a ticket for it." So I went to the United counter. That's when I learned United at the ticket counter cannot sell you a ticket, which I think is odd. I get rebooked on another American flight that is leaving that airport at 6 p.m. So or 6:45, 6:30, I don't know. Anyway, we have about 3.5 hours. So I go back to the American desk. They do figure out how to apply one of the dog vouchers I've already paid for, and they did refund the other, which originally they were like, "No, we can't do that. You're gonna have to call," but they figured it out. I don't know. They get my bag checked. They get my boarding pass. I get through security. Actually, my family comes back because they're already back to the airport. So I go outside. I say goodbye to everyone again. I hug my mom because I'm like fully not okay at this point. I'm like having a panic attack. My vision is blurring. I'm dizzy. I'm really feeling like I'm either going to pass out and or throw up. And then my dad, like very slyly, hands me $40 and goes, "This is for the bar." So I go to the airport bar. I get through security. I go to the airport bar. I spend the $40 on wine and a grilled cheese. And then I go to my gate about 15 minutes before it's supposed to start boarding. I'm sitting there, it's chill. A gate agent comes up. She's like starting to do her little typey-typey things. And then I get a notification that my flight is canceled. So I immediately go up to the desk because on the board it still says it's fine. No one else at the gate is freaking out. But I go up to the gate agent and I'm like, is this flight canceled? And she's like, no, I don't think so, but this wouldn't be the first time I find out something's canceled from a passenger, so let me check. Then I open the notification from American, and it's actually my connecting flight that has been canceled. So my flight from this airport to Chicago, then Chicago to LA. Chicago to LA has been canceled. She says, oh yeah, nothing's getting out of Chicago tonight. And this is also the last flight leaving this airport tonight, so I can rebook you for tomorrow. Again, Friday doesn't work for me. So I again call my mom, and I'm like, you're gonna have to come get me. They've already made it home, and their lake house is about an hour and some change from the airport. So they come get me. By the time they get there, I've been rebooked on a flight going out of an airport that's 3 hours away. So they pick me up. We drive the 3 hours. I immediately pass out in their car. I'm like, I can't be conscious anymore, which was kind of great because then I woke up and we were already there. So that worked out. So my mom, my dad, my dog, and I have to go to Target because I don't have anything. Everything is in my checked bag, which I also was not able to get back. She was like, oh yeah, it'll wind up in Los Angeles because that was your original destination, so when you get rebooked, it'll automatically transfer with you. And I was like, okay, but what if I have to go on a different airline? Because at this point, I've had like, I don't know, 4 American flights that didn't work out within a 7-hour time frame, less than that, like a 4-hour time frame. So she's like, well, you're gonna have to call tomorrow and file a lost baggage claim. Here's the number. I'm like, cool, thanks. Thank you so much. So while I'm waiting for my parents to get there, I call that number. They can't do anything for me. Even though I know where my bag is, they're like, oh, well, it's not a lost bag yet, so you have to wait until tomorrow to file a claim. And I was like, what if we did it now? And then it kind of prevented it from being lost. Anyway, so I wake up 3 hours away. We have to go to Target because I don't have anything. We have to get like a little thing of dog food. I get like a pair of sweatpants because I don't have any clothes. Like, I was going home. Everything is in my suitcase. We get to the hotel. By the time we get to the hotel, I have a notification that the flight from that airport to Chicago has been canceled. It had boarded. Like, they boarded that flight at 6:30. I got this notification after 11 p.m. or actually almost midnight. So these people sat on this plane for over 4.5 hours. We're at the hotel. I get about 2 hours of sleep because my flight is really early because I have to be back in LA. When I wake up, I have a notification because originally I was supposed to fly from that airport to Dallas, then Dallas to LAX. I was supposed to land at LAX at 8:30 a.m. By the time I wake up, I'm flying from that airport to Denver, then Denver to Burbank, and I'm landing at 9:30 a.m. So I wake up and my flight's been changed. I have an hour delay, which does not work for me. That is later than I need to be there. Like, I had to be in class in Hollywood at 10 a.m. At this point, we decided it's whatever. So I email my studio and I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm probably gonna be late. We go to the airport. I'm sitting at the gate. It gets delayed again. Only like 20 minutes, but at this point it's really cutting into my connection time. Denver is a huge airport. It's really hard to get around, so I'm panicking. I text my mom and I'm like, don't leave town yet. Don't leave town until I'm in the air. I'm getting delayed. I don't trust anything. Also, this flight is Southwest, so I have to pay for Lila again, but Southwest is only $125. But still, at this point, I've spent $425 to fly with my dog, and I haven't even gotten on a plane yet. Finally get on the plane. We make it to Denver. I pee in Denver, barely make it to the gate. Like, literally, as I'm walking up, they're like, oh, now we're starting our pre-boarding process, and I pre-board for medical reasons. So I don't even stop walking. I just walk directly on the plane. We fly from Denver to Burbank. My friend is literally waiting for me, and because I didn't have a bag, I pre-boarded. I sat towards the front of the plane. I was one of the first 10 people off that plane. My friend was waiting to pick me up. I walked right into her car. We drove to my house. I changed. She fed my cat. She took my dog outside, and then we start my car. It's very exciting that my car starts because it's been sitting in my driveway for almost a month, so who knows? I make it to class only about 30 minutes late, which is fine. I do the class, we do the morning session, and that's when I realize in my little class folder, there's only one headshot resume. I need two. I need one for the morning session, one for the afternoon session. So the guy in the morning session takes it, which great, we love when they actually keep it. So during my lunch break, I go to Staples, I print my resume, Staples, that's when I learned they can't print photos. So then I have to go to Walgreens to print my photo. It prints wrong. It cuts my head off about here. I'm so out of time, so I just take it. Also, Staples didn't have a paper cutter, so I couldn't cut my resume down to an 8x10. So I just take it, I go back into class, I fold my resume so it fits behind my headshot. My car stapler starts acting up, so it's like kind of scarring my headshot, but whatever. We make it work. We wind up with 3 staples instead of 4. It's whatever. Whatever. But also, at this point, I'm exhausted. I've gotten like maybe 5 hours of sleep over 2 nights. I'm really dehydrated. I haven't peed in a long time. I haven't eaten in a long time. Just every like basic human need is just like, I peed in Denver at 7 a.m. Denver time, so 5 a.m. LA time, and then I did not pee again until our little break at 4 p.m. LA time, so that's 11 hours. I finish up a little before 6. My friend and I decide to go get tacos because I haven't eaten. I've not chewed in over 24 hours. So we go get tacos, and that's great, and that's pretty much the end of this story. But it took 32 travel hours for me to get home. I landed 16 hours after I was originally supposed to. And now I'm running late. I have to leave in 20 minutes to go get my allergy shots, so let's go do that. Now it's time for the quickest makeup and true crime known to man. This is the fit. After my allergy shots, I get to go to work, so fun for that. I also did just get a call that they have my bag at the airport and they're going to deliver it, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much for getting ready with me. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!